Well, y'all just corn isn't too right. I mean, I know it isn't cooked, but I might as well just throw it away. Alright, telephone pole. That's my buddy, by the way. I sit by him every evening. I'm gonna mark this for you. That's about the, I've already climbed to the top. Every time I eat a piece of corn, I run down there and get it. I marked it right there. It's all the way to the top. I'll climb to the top. And it's already been about 7 weeks. Kind of like Mulan trying to get the arrow, sort of. See it, corn. But anyway, story. Have I ever told you guys the story of me stealing a $65 million Chevy Silverado truck at the nursing home? Get out of my applesauce. And anyway, it didn't turn out super well. So the head of the nurses in the nursing home, he owned that truck, and it was $65 million what he paid for it. I don't even know how he got that much money. I mean, the most I've ever heard of is $3 trillion. And anyway, it didn't, guys, I'm just like, my breath is just taking from me. That was such a devastating day back in 2002, back on September 27th. I tell you, I didn't get half a mile down the road stealing that truck until it broke down. And I had to sit on the side of the road till the cops got me. And luckily, in the back of that truck, I found an oxygen tank, and I started putting it to their heads. I knocked every single cop out, and they fell over going, here, there, Roger, send back up. And they fell over like that. The last cop, whenever he was about to get up, he was like, I'm gonna arrest you. And I took the thing and just went, boop, and he went, like that. But when I went back up to the nursing home to go give it to that guy that owned that truck, the head of the nurses in the nursing home, I hit him 75 times in the head with a metal steel oxygen tank. And every time I hit him, it just went. And he looked at me. He looked at me like that. It was kind of creepy because I thought he was like a Frankenstein or ghost from outer space or something. Every time I hit him like that, I thought he made metal inside. Eventually I said, all right, buddy, since you aren't going to be knocked out, you can't do anything anyway besides just, I mean, them nurses gave him a pretty hard hit every now and then, but I mean, just all that jibber jabbish to him, telling him, I mean, he's probably had some long days. I kind of felt sorry for him hitting him 75 times to the head with the oxygen tank. Eventually, I did it. I knocked him clean out, and he stayed out for about an hour or two. I went to the shop, my shop. I went all the way to the shop. I took the tractor with the bucket and went inside, and he just stood there and looked at me and said, this is not going to hurt me, and you know it isn't. Took the big tractor bucket, pulled out both pins on each side, and dumped the bucket, and I pulled it high sky, and it went, hit right on the head, and crushed him. And guess what? He got up. He took the bucket and pushed it up with his head and just looked at me like that. And I said, if a bucket like that can't knock a man out, nothing can knock this guy out. And eventually, like all those heavy metal objects I told you about, I went over there and got a fence post, and I whacked him hard as I could in the side of the head, and it knocked him out. The littlest piece of metal knocked him out. The big oxygen tank, the tractor bucket. You know, I even took a sledgehammer to his nose. And it still didn't knock him out. But the fence post did. It was hilarious. I mean, if someone hit me in the head with a stick, it'd probably knock me out. I mean, I've not got a very tough skull. My brain's not twice as big as that doctor's was. And when he went, the doctor, he went unconscious for probably an hour or two when I hit him in the side of the head with a fence post. But he went in to feed my great aunt Jemima. And she's just like me, people. I mean, crazy, mean. She's like that all the time. She's always grouchy. She's always cussing the nurses every time they come in. I mean, it's thankful she had a lot of money so she could bribe the judge to rule on her side. So anyway, she took it to his other eyeball, and it cost $100,000 to replace $50,000 to replace each eyeball with a golden eyeball. He wanted some rich eyeballs so he could buy him a new Chevy Silverado, the brand new version that don't cost $65 million, but cost $155 million. I don't know what that guy's problem is with he's a little bit too modern. He doesn't live out in the boonies like me and just get a truck that only costs about $500 every now and then. Yeah, I'm kind of just throwing this grass as I go. It's kind of good motor skills anyway. My brain doesn't function right. I have to keep doing this over and over and over. I have to do it 1,000,000 times a day. Believe it or not. No wonder I ain't got no grass in my yard. I've done it for years. But anyway, back to the point about my great aunt Jemima. Anyway, she was tough on that doctor. And when he came in, she said, "You tried to hurt my grandbaby." And she was talking about me, by the way. And anyway, she had a mini jackhammer in her pocket. It's about this big. She stuffed it in her pocket. She took it out. She went, and whenever he went over, "All right, eat this." It was a load of applesauce. It probably had some kind of poison in it. I'm glad that she did this to him. Listen, you're gonna love it. She took it out, and she turned the switch on and went, "Ah," and she put it in his eye, and he started going, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." And she took it out, and he didn't even have an eyeball. He was going, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." And I don't know. I'm telling you guys this. I mean, I'm running out of breath, so, you know, I gotta take my dish of applesauce. I made this myself. It's still got some of the grass in it from yesterday, where I sat by the telephone pole. But, you know, real quick, just to let you guys know about the nursing home, how to get out of trouble whenever you go in and you always pick up one of the nurse's shots and put it in one of the old ladies they're trying to do. You go, "I'm sorry, nurse, I didn't mean to hurt anybody." And she'll go, "That's a shot. You don't mess with needles." "I know, my parents always left me there with knives and everything." And she goes, "Oh, really?" And I go, yes, they do." And I go, oh, and you go like this, and you go, and you start going like this, you start going, and the nurse goes, "Please don't do it." Okay, they go, and you give her the biggest puppy eyes you ever want to. "I love you, nursey."